Greetings, everyone. Damien Dumar here, publisher of The Last Harvest by Lucy and Mars. And we have yet another article published on vampireashram.com in the Notes for the Night Side section by Lucy and Mars himself. A third article on the Cube of Saturn, and due to time pressure, the fact this information needs to get out there now, I'm going to do another live reading. I hope you enjoy it. And so without further ado, Masonic 9/11 Cube of Saturnic Murder Decoded. Cube of Saturn decoded for 9/11. By now, if you've read the two other posts related to the Cube of Saturn, you can see that mathematical symbolism as energy is encoded into the computer simulation known as a faux reality, one that surrounds the central five senses, as depicted in the Cube of Saturn or Satan. That's why you're living in a 3D, or 33-degree simulation created by the Masonic demiurge, i.e. 3 times 3 equals 9, simulation by the false god of Christianity and Satanism, and all other isms called the demiurge, who operates through a spider's web of forces bound, as in Saturnial bound, and determined to bring about a fascist New World Order beginning in 2025. All you need to know is the key mathematical reptilian code to understand the message, for the message is the medium, fortune-telling prophecy. And here's where the whole 9/11 fiasco was a complete success for the hidden hand of the elite Satanists like Rockefeller, Rothschild, and the Nazi and Zionist technocrats, all of whom obey the signal, aka sigil, of mathematical code contained in the Cube of Saturn, aka Satan. The Masonic elite are claiming responsibility for the World Trade Center bombings of 9/11. Satan lies, but his numbers don't. As you can clearly see, the 9 is obvious as being directed from heaven, the false heaven of the demiurge, Saturn, aka Satan. If you add the bottom 3 numbers of 3 plus 1 plus 7, you arrive at the number 11. Put them together and you have a bold confession that the Masonic Freemasons are signaling their full responsibility for the mass murder of citizens in America on 9/11. Notice also that the number 3 and the number 7 form an X that when added together equals 20, which equals the same numerical core as the Cube of Saturn itself. And since the word twins equals 2 ones as translated into Roman numerals as II, there you have the 2 twin towers, one a mirror image and duplicate of the other. The 2 are really one, as shown in the bottom point of the Masonic symbol. If you really want to know who the terrorists are, look no further. They're the ones who imposed the Patriot Act, or Paternal Riot on America Act, to weaponize war against humanity. IXXI, Roman numerical code for 9/11. As mentioned in another post on Vampire Ashram, X is also highly symbolic and the reason for the Roman numeral system. X, as mentioned earlier, when doubled in the Roman numeral system, equals a sum of 20, the same sum of the cube within a cube of Saturn as shown in the other symbols decoded, including the year 2025. So, if you add X plus X, you arrive at double X, or the number 20, the internal cube and core number for predictive events designed to modify and manipulate the world into a new world order, run by the Masonic Temple elite and controlled by a grand Nazi world order. The Roman numeral code also shows 2 symbolic towers on either side of the double X, symbolized as a double cross, the same as chosen for the Exxon logo and others. X is why the Yale Skull and Bones Illuminati Club is 2 bones below the skull, ruled by Saturn or Satan in the form of an X. Ditto the pirate flag, because the Illuminati are in reality thieves. As you can clearly see in the red outline Cube of Saturn, the Masons, i.e. the Illuminati, were the ones who orchestrated 9/11 and the fall of the Twin Towers in New York. And if you follow the trail of the usual suspects, naturally enough you'll stumble across ex-President George Bush as appointed to pass the Patriot Act, which turns American citizens into potential enemies of the state, when the real criminals behind 9/11 were the same ones who run the U.S. and in turn, the world. And have you ever considered what is encoded in the word number? It's the system that is designed to numb your 5 sense hijacked world in which illusion blocks your reality. It's one in which the victims of the psychopathic demiurge, or god of this world of 5 pentagram senses, rules with a rod of iron and hides behind the mask of the mason jar mentality, or Masonic jar mentality of robotic followers and the electrified ex-presidents like Bush and Trump and others. All of the Illuminati consider themselves as electrified with the illuminated light of reptilian energy. After all, every angel is made of smokeless fire, or more accurately, electromagnetic fire, a particularly reptilian form of energy. The gods of Saturn shall war. As you can see from the similar Masonic symbol that represents vampire ashram, note the important differences. So why use a symbol that you oppose? Because both Satan and Ares, the reptilian Siakar Empire warlord, are sons of the same mother of Saturn goddess, Hera or Sophia. But Saturn is the elder and was born as a hermaphrodite, Baphomet, through asexual reproduction and cannot create or reproduce. It's more accurate to say the demiurge can only duplicate, and for this purpose he uses symbolic mathematics and language as the means of fostering an illusion, fusion of reality called the Maya tricks. You could say it's the tricks of Maya. A Maya tricks or matrix, Maya that tricks. After Sophia abandoned the demiurge because, although she knew that she should have destroyed him upon birth, instead she simply abandoned him in shame for the rebellious act of defying the true Father God and conforming to his creation instead of attempting her own self-improvement version. Sophia, aka Hera, went on to wed Zeus, aka Jupiter, as the king of gods, producing an only begotten son in truth, Ares, the god of war, not salvation as the Bible lies on that depiction. Saturn naturally hated Ares, and therefore created a religion in which he fabricated Jesus as the only begotten son of Satan with a bogus salvation by vampirism and the rite of human sacrifice as the god of the Bible. Ares has several sisters, Aphrodite and the elder one who is a war goddess of the reptilian Siakar Empire as well, whose name is Eris or Discordia. She creates chaos aimed at overthrowing and destroying the demiurge. This is why the thunderbolt of Zeus, depicted in the symbol of Ares, represents his profoundly brutal powers of war and his opposition to Satan as Saturn. The serpent, instead of consuming its tail in the illusion of reincarnation and amnesia, is instead poised for war against illusion and to destroy the powers of Satan on earth instead of allowing the demiurge infection to spread throughout the galaxy. And since Ares created war and has the full backing of the true God, he is empowered to destroy the world if needed to stop Satan. He is the ultimate god of darkness, not light. Neither god brings peace to the planet, but war, and it is a war Ares is destined to win. The murder of Lucifer is a declaration of war. In 2023 Earth time, Ares murdered Lucifer and 4 other archon angels with the consent of the true God. Lucifer, working with Saturn, aka Satan, kidnapped and murdered a daughter of Ares and Lilith, who defected that same year to the Siakar Empire, and Lucifera, who is the Iakar Empress of the reptilian Siakar Empire. She is the mother of Lucifer and strove, like Hera did, as a mother to overlook and perhaps rehabilitate Lucifer to conform to the wishes of the true God instead of the demiurge. When that effort failed, Ares liquidated Lucifer and 4 other brothers. Human fools can call upon Lucifer and Lilith and others all they like, but only stand-ins will answer in imitation. Lucifer is dead and gone forever, his energy absorbed by Ares. Contrary to the lie that immortality is unconditional, you forget that the God who created from nothing can return anything and everything to nothing, including the demiurge. Reptilians can read the writing on the wall and know how to decipher the time code as I have done here and elsewhere. What happened next is something no mortal is aware of, but trust me, all the gods and goddesses are very well aware of. Sides prior to 2025 had to be picked to see who the victor would be. Ares, representing the true God, created out of darkness itself, or Satan, representing the demiurge and also created out of darkness. Hence, Almost all of the previous gods who supported Satan have fled to the true Father and pled to join the Siakar Empire, including Moloch, a son of Saturn, but not Saturn as sometimes assumed. Lilith, Sekhmet, Kurukula, Hera, Sophia, Chamunda, the Matrika goddesses, and a host of others, most notably. Justitia, the Roman goddess of justice, her utter disgust with the Supreme Court of the United States caused her to abandon America and the world to assist the Siakar Empire as it expands in influence and power. She hates America with an unbridled passion because of the supremely corrupt court, as all Americans should, for its promotion of rebellion against God and the furtherance of Trump and Satan. Other lies perpetuated by Satan are that the reptilian Siakar Empire is the enemy of the Galactic Federation. That is another satanic lie. The Galactic Federation and the Siakar Empire are allies and have been for several eons now, at the command of the Divine Father, not the Demiurge, who seeks to divide the two empires by planting spies and false ambassadors alleged to represent the Galactic Federation. No matter, it won't happen and it isn't true. The two empires, one of the light and the other of the dark, combine to restore balance to this galaxy and others. The fairy tale that the Greys have been abolished by the Galactic Federation and that the Siakar Empire is also diminished or destroyed are sick jokes told by satanic trolls on Earth who propose a happy ending to a rather bleak outcome. War. And the god of war sits at the side of the true God and divine creator, not the blind, one-eyed demiurge, the crippled cyclops of false creation. For a full background on the physical and spiritual workings behind this satanic Christian Zionist illusion of sides against sides, all contained in the same Saturnian cube of illusion, I suggest reading The Trigger, The Lie That Changed the World, Who Really Did It and Why by David Icke. This should concern everyone, because the year 2025 is right around the corner, and unless you can decipher the reptilian symbol script, the Masonic Satanists have another message for you. The Masonic Satanists will impose the Nazi New World Order in 2025. The best way of confronting this is to get this article out to others. Pass the word and protest peacefully but vocally. This is the last chance to do so, because if this world is turned into the Fourth Reich of the uber-rich, there will be world wars upon world wars that will terminate the need for this earth, which hangs in the balance. Hope you enjoyed my reading. Until next time, Damien Dumar, signing off.